Welcome, dear viewer, to Movie Summary Original. Today I am excited to delve into the action-packed world of John Wick Chapter 4, a thrilling crime film released in 2023. This movie is the fourth installment in the John Wick franchise, following the enigmatic and lethal assassin John Wick, portrayed brilliantly by Keanu Reeves. Caution, spoilers ahead. In New York City, John Wick and his pit bull find sanctuary with the Bowery King. He punches a board until his knuckles bleed, and the Bowery King asks if he's prepared to target the high table. John agrees and heads to Morocco, pursuing men working for the Elder on horseback. After eliminating them, he confronts the Elder for his ring, but it's missing. Still, John kills the Elder before returning to New York. Winston and Karen encounter the Harbinger, called forth by the Marquis Vincent de Gramont from the high table. They are aware of the Elder's execution, and the Marquis rebukes Winston for failing to eliminate John. As a result, the Marquis condemns and detonates the New York Continental, resulting in Winston's excommunicado. To further insult, the Marquis shoots Karen in the chest, and Winston stays with him as he passes away, regretting that it should have been him. In Paris, blind assassin Kane stands in the park while his daughter Mia plays the violin. The Marquis orders Kane to go after John, threatening his life if he refuses. John heads to the Osaka Continental managed by his old friend Shimazu Koji, where his daughter Akira serves as concierge. Koji agrees to offer John sanctuary in secret, although Akira doubts his presence. Soon, Chidi, the Marquis's right-hand man, arrives with his hit squad to lure John out. Koji's men face off against the high-table assassins with arrows. John grabs his gun and fights back. Kane joins, setting traps using sword and gun to kill the men. Akira fights, gets wounded, and John helps her and Koji escape while taking out several with a pair of nunchucks. Kane finds him, and they see each other as former allies. Kane hesitates but pursues John for Mia's sake. John and Kane briefly clash before John escapes. Amidst the gunfights, a tracker, aka Mr. Nobody, and his German Shepherd are close, and he kills some of the gunmen after John. He also desires the contract on John's head, but argues the current hit of $20 million is insufficient. So he is presently aiding John. Koji and Akira encounter Kane as they try to flee. Kane and Koji, old friends, duel as Koji opposes Kane pursuing John. It appears Koji can depart, but he continues the fight until Kane delivers a deadly blow. Akira cradles her father's body as he passes and tries to seize his sword to avenge Kane. He dissuades her, fearing her suffering, and promises to reunite. Akira finds John at the train station, blaming him for her father's demise, and demands Kane's death. Later, Winston meets Bowery King, aware that their proximity to John makes them targets. The Harbinger converses with the Marquis about the necessary bloodshed at the Osaka Continental. The Marquis believes killing John is vital to shatter his untouchable image. Mr. Nobody visits the Marquis, requesting a $23 million contract to kill John. The Marquis impales his hand, and Mr. Nobody chooses to pull it out, earning the Marquis's acceptance. That day, John meets Winston, expressing condolences for his friend's loss. Winston seeks vengeance against the Marquis and urges John to challenge him to a duel, despite it being considered a myth. Only his family supports John. The rest have severed ties, leaving him no choice. John agrees to find them. John journeys to the Ruska Roma in Berlin, where a priest greets him with a shotgun blast before he is bound with a noose. Katia, his adoptive sister, angered by his killing of the Elder, seeks revenge for her father Pyotr's execution. John offers to aid Katia and vows to pursue Killa, a German high-table member responsible for her father's death. At Killa's nightclub, Kane and Mr. Nobody are present. After locating John, they engage in a card game with Killa, who cheats before his men attack the three assassins. While Kane and Nobody handle the thugs, John confronts Killa, slicing his neck with a card and engaging him in a fight. Killa's men meet a bloody end as they go after John, but he remains undeterred. John eventually corners Killa, causing him to fall down a stairway, resulting in his death. John presents Katia with one of Killa's gold teeth as proof and undergoes a ceremonial branding with the family's crest, gaining support for the duel. The following day, Winston pays a visit to the Marquis, presenting the official challenge document from John for the duel. Despite the Marquis attempting to decline, Winston reminds him of his obligation to the high table and its customs, compelling him to proceed. Additionally, Winston stipulates that if John emerges victorious, he will no longer be excommunicado, and the Continental will be restored and uncondemned with its original management reinstated. However, the Marquis warns Winston that he will serve as John's second, thus sharing his fate if John meets his demise. John meets with the Marquis, overseen by the Harbinger, to discuss the duel's terms. They will rendezvous at the Sacré-Cœur in Paris at sunrise, engaging in a gun duel. Failure to appear before the deadline will lead to automatic forfeiture and execution. Cain will serve as the Marquis's second, with an agreement to grant him and his daughter freedom if he manages to kill John. John heads to a church to pay homage to his late wife Helen. There, Cain approaches him amiably, discussing Mia and what he stands to lose. Subsequently, John meets with Winston and Bowery King, the latter presenting him with a new firearm and bulletproof attire. The Harbinger reminds the Marquis of the potential repercussions within the High Table should John succeed, intending to hinder John's timely arrival at the Sacré-Cœur. The Marquis dispatches Chidi and his thugs to pursue John, while a radio DJ announces a bounty on John Wick to all listening assassins, encouraging them to kill him before sunrise. John heads to the Sacré-Cœur, pursued by hordes of assassins. He confronts gunmen in the streets and even weaves through traffic near the Arc de Triomphe, shooting or causing them to be hit by cars. The High Table monitors his movements, attracting more assassins. Inside a warehouse filled with foes, John uses explosive rounds. Simultaneously, Mr. Nobody assists in eliminating some assassins and demands a higher payment from the Marquis. Eventually, the Marquis agrees to a $40 million contract, attracting more desperate hitmen. John reaches the steps of Sacré-Cœur, eliminating more assassins before Chidi arrives and knocks him down the stairs. Cain joins to aid John, dealing with Chidi's henchmen. Mr. Nobody also appears, fighting Chidi for harming his dog. With John's assistance, Chidi is defeated, and the dog bites him, while Mr. Nobody delivers a fatal shot. The dog even urinates on Chidi's face. Just before sunrise, John and Cain face off in an old-fashioned pistol duel, hitting each other twice. In the third round, Cain shoots John in the gut, but John doesn't retaliate. The Marquis insists on claiming the coup de grâce to be the one to kill John Wick, a death blow to end the suffering of a severely wounded person. He aims his gun at John, but Winston intervenes, reminding the Marquis that John still has one round left. The Marquis realizes his mistake too late, as John shoots him in the head. The Harbinger then announces that both John and Cain are released from their High Table obligations. John descends the steps and briefly remembers his wife Helen, uttering her name before he falls. John Wick dies as a free man. Winston and Bowery King bury him next to Helen, with the tombstone reading "Loving Husband" as he requested. Bowery King asks Winston if he thinks John is in heaven or hell, and Winston replies, "Who knows?" They depart, and Bowery King continues to care for John's dog. Congratulations! Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can enjoy more content like this. I appreciate you watching this.